You came inside to escape the smoke. The smoke followed. The public health advice is right. Stay inside during a smoke event if you can. Close the windows, limit your exposure. And that advice is correct with one assumption baked into it that nobody says out loud. That the inside is actually safer than the outside. Building science usually gets talked about in terms of energy bills and comfort, how much your air conditioning costs to run, whether one room is colder than another. And those things matter, but events like this are a reminder that a well-detailed building is something more than efficient. It's protective. A shelter not just from rain and weather, but from a natural disaster happening hundreds of miles away. The West has known this for a decade. The rest of the country is catching up fast. Your building envelope determines how much protection staying inside during a smoke event actually gives you. Most houses were never required to manage it. Even a poorly detailed building offers some respite. The question is how much? And what targeted improvements can change that? Smoke doesn't need an open window. It needs a gap. Most houses have hundreds of them around electrical outlets, plumbing penetrations, recessed light fixtures, the rim joist. Every place the air barrier wasn't detailed or doesn't exist. Windows and doors are part of the air barrier too. How they're installed determines whether they're helping prevent air movement or whether they're allowing air movement. Smoke particles follow air. Wherever air can move through the building assembly, smoke moves with it. So closing the windows helps, but it doesn't seal the building. Some things that people do during a smoke event actually make it worse. Running the kitchen or bathroom exhaust fans seems like the right instinct. Get the air moving, clear the smoke out. But what those exhaust fans actually do is create negative pressure inside the house. And the air they push out has to get replaced. So it gets replaced by whatever is outside, including the smoke you're trying to avoid, pulling through every gap in the building envelope. The fan doesn't know that there's smoke outside. It's just doing its job. But in this case, its job is the problem. Ducted air conditioning systems pull outdoor air in every time they run. That air is not coming through the building envelope. We're allowing it in through the vents. A house that needs air conditioning running constantly is a house that's continuously exchanging indoor air for outdoor air. During a smoke event, that's an air quality problem, not just a comfort problem. A ductless mini split doesn't have the same ducting issue, letting air in, but the building envelope it's sitting in still determines how much smoke enters passively. Most people assume that a well-insulated house is also well protected from outdoor air. But insulation slows heat. It doesn't stop air. A house with excellent insulation and a poorly detailed air barrier is still exchanging air with the outside continuously. And whatever the outside air carries comes with it. The air barrier stops smoke infiltration, not the insulation alone. The continuous, well-detailed layer of the assembly that stops air moving through it includes properly installed and sealed windows and doors, is what determines how much smoke gets inside. Most houses don't have one that performs under pressure. If your house has an ERV or an HRV, you're bringing outdoor air in intentionally. Which during a smoke event means the filter on that incoming airstream matters more than usual. Most residential ERVs and HRVs ship with filters that aren't rated for wildfire smoke particles. Upgrading to a higher rated filter changes what the mechanical system does with the air it moves. Sometimes the right answer during a severe smoke event is turn the HRV off entirely. The air quality is bad enough that even a well-rated filter can't keep up. Stopping intentional ventilation temporarily is a better call. The building needs to be tight enough to hold acceptable air quality for a period without mechanical ventilation, which is another argument for a well-detailed envelope. Nobody bought their house expecting to need it to protect them from a wildfire. It was burning 5 states away. Most people, a tight, well-detailed envelope that limits how much air enters passively Mechanical ventilation, like an ERV, with filtration rated for smoke particles. That brings fresh air in intentionally and filters it before it enters the living space. Even has the ability to pause ventilation when the outdoor air quality is too poor to filter adequately. Tight enough building envelope that air conditioning doesn't have to run constantly. It limits how much outdoor air the system pulls in on every cycle. None of this requires starting over. Air sealing targeted at the highest leakage points, like the rim joist or the attic plane, plumbing penetrations, window and door openings, changes how much smoke can enter passively. Upgrading the filter on your ERV, or even adding filtration to your forced air system, changes what that system is bringing into your house. Targeted improvements that change a specific outcome. If you want help working through what your specific house is actually letting in, that conversation is available. We've all probably heard that sitting is the new smoking. And a wildfire event is inside the new outside? It doesn't have to be. The advice to stay inside assumes your house is doing a job it was never required to do. Most houses weren't built to be a refuge from wildfire smoke. They were built to meet a code minimum for a moment in time that didn't include that smoke event as a design condition. The buildings that perform during these events aren't accidents. They're detailed. The best investment you can make in the air quality inside your home is in the envelope protecting your home. Building science explains it. Applied correctly, it fixes it.